Sorry, it was rudely interrupted by a phone call from Harley Davidson. Just put a tweak on it.
Can I grab the...
What?
Yep.
Well, you're not permanently doing it up, are you?
No, I'm not. I just want to make sure that it's actually got a good grip on it. Ah, okay. That feels... Yeah.
How much of the nut is poking out?
Well...
Is the thread of the bolt lower than the head of the nut?
I can't get behind it to feel it. No.
Because we all know that's wrong, don't we? Mind you, it's fucking close to that pulley, isn't it? Sorry for the language.
There couldn't have been that much head coming out.
Sorry.
We could always do it without the washer. No. Is there a thinner washer? Or we could do it without a washer at all. If you're really worried about that.
I don't think, because the other one, the head and the bottom is the same gap.
Yeah.
And the head and the bottom of this is the same gap.
Yeah.
You've put a washer in, so the washer shouldn't actually be there.
What, this washer?
That's not a washer.
Isn't it?
That's a top hat. Oh, you mean the big washer on the shock?
Yeah, no, this washer.
You kind of have to use that.
Hang on.
Did you put the black spacer in?
No.
Oh, right, okay. That's what I thought you put in. Sorry.
No. Because we've got this, the top sitting back,
Yeah.
the bottom doesn't have to be sitting back.
Okay. All we got is this little seam here, but you can barely see that. That's sticking out about 5 mil, which is the top hat, isn't it?
Yes, but the only way to get rid of that would be to get rid of the top hat, but then you'd have to get rid of the top.
We can get onto Progressive and ask them to send a couple of 40mm bushes, because that's what they are, I think.
Okay.
All right. So do we now drop it down and see if the other side compresses? Because we haven't changed the other side yet. We've only changed one side.
Yeah.
And you hop on and see what you think.
What's interesting, of course, is the fact that we lowered it and that one side dropped down far enough for us to make up another inch.
Yeah.
Which means that those shocks are fairly
Very
soft.
squishy, aren't they? Yeah.
Mind you, we did think that
Right.
when we first got on them.
Yeah. Wonder he's like going to be riding a blancmange.
Well, no, not if we use these, because those are as tough as they come.
But
Those
are they?
progressives-
Yeah, they
those
are progressives, aren't they?
Really soft.
Now, here's the weird thing about these shocks. What do you notice about the springs? The progressive part is at the bottom.
Oh, yes.
So, does it matter which way the progressive part is?
Progressive is progressive, I think.
It's because I've often seen the progressive, the tighter loops, at the top
Oh,
rather than the bottom. So,
well,
I
the
don't
only thing
know.
we can do is to drop the height.
Drop the height.
And I'll tell you whether it's
Right.
made a huge difference
Shall
or
you
not.
hop on and I'll crank you
Okay.
down?
By the way, an observation for anyone who's getting a Street: if you use only the side stand, do not park it facing down a hill. Unlike the other Harleys, which have a locking mechanism which effectively stops it from rolling forward, this will roll forward, come off the side stand, and you'll wind up with a very expensive mess on the ground.
Look. Oh, it hits the spanner. But usually, is once the bike's loaded this way, there's nothing to hold the stand rocking away. So the bike will go rolling down the road all by itself. Good way of saving petrol. Okay, let's drop it down. Sorry about the camera work, but here we go. Am I going the right way? Yep. Alright, you're more or less, you're off the jack. And
Doesn't actually...
does it feel any lower?
I mean, it feels comfortable, but there again, it felt fairly comfortable before.
Yep. We're going to have to roll it outside and take the exhaust off and do the other side, are we?
Mind you, it's not giving at all. So it could be that the original shock is under compression and therefore is not giving.
It's not bouncing. Well, I'll go around the back and try bouncing the bugger. Point this at it. Yeah, it's moving.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, not with me on it though.
Right, let me just have a look at the. Hang on, just. Yeah, I think the shock, the progressive shock, is a lot stiffer
Stiff. Oh yes, it is.
because you have got it on its maximum compression, dude.
Yes. I mean, to a certain extent, that's quite a comfortable position for me. But
Right.
I don't know.
Is it actually lower?
I don't know. I don't.
That's how new this bike is. Look, we haven't even taken the stickers off. This bike's like 4 hours old. Right. So what's the next thing to do then?
Well, I suppose the only thing we can do is put the other shock on, which
Yeah.
means taking the bloody pipe off,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then measuring straight down from that point, from the pivot point of the upper fixing,
Yeah.
straight down to the ground,
So we can go outside, measure my one,
and then measure this.
and measure this. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we can do that now.
Yep. We go outside and look at his and his ones.
Uh,
I'd like to add here that Jeff is happily married with grown children. We just chose to buy the same bikes because we were a bit strange. Right, this is my one.
you've got the flashy red one.
Won't be out here. He's muttering away to himself out there. Right, you want to bring the tape measure?
No, I can't get off this.
Why? Just put it on the side stand, no?
No, because the
on.
jack is in the
I'll
wrong
flip
place.
you up. Jack you back up.
Dear oh dear. As that's coming up, that's doing funny things to my marital.
Please, please. Okay. That's a
Tell you
fun
what, I do need that reduced for each seat. Not because I need it lower, but because I don't have it.
Sorry, because the camera's swinging around like crazy.
Have you got the tape measure there?
Yep, got it in my hand.
Okay.
Right, you're gonna sit on it and
I'll sit on it and
pull it upright.
yeah.
I've got the tape measure. It's the red one.
Why is your bike heavier than mine?
Right. This is with you sitting on it.
Agreed.
60. Just under 2 foot. 60 centimetres.
Okay.
Alright, the ground's not that easy, but we're not going to argue about 3 or 4, 5 mil. It's not worth chatting about that. He stopped right in front of me to do up his shoelace. Right, so going to shut the camera off. What we're going to do, roll this out, get the shock, the exhaust off,
One thing we can do,
or shift
before we
it
do
over
that-
left.
Yeah, but one thing we can do is before we do that, measure to see if this is any lower now.
Oh right, okay, but it's up. I'll have to drop it off the jack.
Yes, I'll just sit
All
on
right,
it.
okay, go on then. Let me shut the door because
Yeah,
it's
because it's
freezing out there.
Yeah.
Why didn't we do this part first? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
You're doing this because you're married. You like the rumbling. Say nothing. Say nothing. Right, you're off the jack. Yes. Oh,
I'm off the jack. Yes.
handlebar in the back. Just got to check the measurement of this. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Go on.
Well, there is no good news. It's like,
Not the same.
well, it's like 10 mil lower at the moment.
Yeah, you see, it could be because that.
Yeah, because we've only changed one side. Right, okay, let me switch this off. We're going to have to move the bike and do the other side.